Yo, what up, what up, what up? I want to talk about AJ Styles real quick. Saw Raw tonight. Raw was a pretty good show, um, which is funny. They always seems like they always do better when it comes to the road to WrestleMania. That's when they come up with more surprises and more interesting things. If only WWE can keep that up past WrestleMania or past WrestleMania season, I should say, and do that for their entire year. Anywho, AJ Styles had his first match and debut tonight on Raw against Chris Jericho. Uh, can't really get any better than than that. This I thought was a great matchup for AJ's first bout on Raw or in debut. Good match, solid match. Um, seeing it, seeing AJ on WWE television against Chris Jericho with the Raw logo on the bottom of the screen, I'm just like still shaking my head. Like I just this is a cool moment. I mean, this is AJ Styles. This is a guy that has helped build TNA. One of the face of TNA, I guess you could say. He was AJ Styles was their John Cena, and to see him on WWE television, from the Royal Rumble to tonight on Raw, having a great match against Jericho, I think it was just really, really cool to see. AJ Styles is by far has always been one of my favorite top 10 favorite wrestlers of this generation. And so I think it's just really cool. However, it sitting back and kind of simmering down and stop sipping the Kool-Aid, it kind of made me wonder long term some of my concerns. I really hope that WWE really pushes AJ. And they don't have to necessarily make him WWE champion. Now, there are a lot of AJ Styles fans, or a lot of, internet mark fans that are, you know, hardcore for AJ being WWE champion. And that may happen. And I think, it would be cool to see. But if that doesn't happen, and if AJ, becomes nothing more than just, a solid mid card to upper mid card guy, I'd be fine with that. However, my thing is that I just hope that WWE doesn't lose interest in AJ. Because this is, you know, the beginning of WrestleMania season. Everyone's up on a high. Um, when I say everyone's up on a high, not even just the fans, but even WWE, the company themselves. And I just hope that going 6 7 months past WrestleMania, that AJ Styles is treated nothing more than just a flavor of the month. That they still invest in this guy and that they take the time to, you know, give him a run, give him a legitimate run. Because I would hate for AJ Styles, to kind of get this attention and get this new, I guess you say, publicity or whatever, from WWE, only for WWE to just, put him on the shelf and be like, okay, well, we're done playing with you. We're done with playing our shiny new toy, and just put him up in the shelf and just have him sit there and do little to nothing with him. I would hate for AJ to be where he is now, and then all of a sudden, you fast forward 5 to 6 months later, um, he end up being where Tyler Breeze is, or Bo Dallas or a Rob Van Dam, where he's only used here and there, or they only use him just to put over younger talent. Now, granted, AJ Styles is an 18-year veteran, but by no means is AJ Styles like old and past his prime. I mean, this guy is like he's in his twilight years. He's not technically in his prime, but yet time has not completely passed him by either. He's right in between that dial. He's right in between that gauge, in his wrestling career. So he's at a good age where you can still invest in him, give him some championship goals, give him, a good push. It's not too late for him to be, you know, a big star within WWE. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's another concern that I have with the WWE, where they kind of look at him and be like, well, you're 38. Well, he'd be 39, actually, like, June or July. So yeah, we'll give you the Intercontinental title like one time, and then that's it. But then any other time after that, you're just like you're gonna put over, Dean Ambrose, you're gonna put over Apollo Crews, and you're gonna put over Baron Corbin, and all these other people. I just don't want that. Because granted, Triple H may be the guy to have signed AJ onto the WWE, but Triple H has made it very clear in multiple interviews that what he does in NXT completely different from what Vince does on Raw, and that whatever goes on Raw is due to Vince McMahon's call. He has the last say in everything. Triple H has made that very clear. Triple H may have some stroke or whatnot, but he's made it very clear in multiple interviews that what goes on Raw is the last word that goes by Vince. So I hope Vince sees some money in AJ and want to invest in AJ. Um, and I'm always leery and I'm always scared, that I've always come up with the thought or the model that WWE have, and that is if we didn't make you, we will break you. Meaning if you didn't come up through their developmental system, if they didn't make you a star, and you were made a star somewhere else, then they're not going to truly heavily invest in you that much. I mean, look at Sting recently. Last year that was such a disappointment, but I've already shared my grievances on that. And Sting's run at WWE, but at WWE, not even just Sting, but WWE's long past history with former WCW stars that have crossed over and they just completely, utterly ruined them. I don't want the same thing to be said for AJ Styles or Samoa Joe if he ever gets called up to the main roster, or even an Austin Aries if he ever gets called up to the main roster, which I kind of doubt it. But I just want to get my thoughts on this. I'm enjoying AJ's, in WWE, but I can't help but have in the back of my mind and just kind of cross my fingers and just hope that they continue to stay interested and stay in tune and want to continue to invest in AJ Styles and not just have him as, oh, this great international superstar, we got him, but he's going to be putting other people over kind of like thing, you just brag just to say that you have him in your company, but other than that, you're really just using him to put over other people and you're not really using him to his full potential. It's just like, bragging rights, I have all this money, but yet I don't spend it. Kind of like thing. I don't know. It's probably a bad analogy or example, but it's like you know that's my one biggest concern when it comes to AJ Styles. So I'm glad he's here in WWE, but I can't help but be a little optimistic or a little bit frightened or concerned that once WrestleMania season pass, will they still be heavily invested in them like they are now? I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the box below about this. Comment, subscribe. Peace.